Hi, this is Ms. Feldman Tentori, and this is for the e-business module. So you're all creating a WordPress website, and there are plenty of resources out there, and I got you started in a previous online lecture saying just go to wordpress.com and get started. But I thought I'd record an additional video just to help you out where I'm going to create a brand new WordPress account and site. So you go to wordpress.com. I believe depending on whatever settings are on your computer, it will depend on the language, but I think you can scroll right down to the bottom in most of these and see on the left hand side you can change the language. So I've got English there. So to scroll back up, I'm just going to click on Get Started. Now I have several WordPress accounts, but this is one that I'm going to do specifically for IBMS. We're doing a new series of guest lectures and I'd like to start a blog. And we're going to call it IB Talks, International Business Talks. So to get started, what the blog or website is about, this is just to give WordPress a bit of guidance as to what kind of themes might suit you. So here I'm going to click for education. So here, start with a blog, start with a website, start with a portfolio, or start with an online store. This is quite a new thing actually, because when I last set up a WordPress.com account not so long ago, but probably less than a year ago, you didn't have these options. So you just basically got started and picked a theme. So what they're trying to do now is help lead you into it. I'm just going to start with a website. I imagine if you start with an online store, it's going to direct you to the paid version because you can't do that very easily in the free version. I do want a blog, but I want it within my website, which is easy enough to do. And as for a portfolio, that's also essentially a type of website, but it would be laid out differently. So that would be aimed at, say, artists or photographers that want a website. So even though it gives you 4 options here, all of them lead to a similar thing. It's just they're trying to guide you into different themes and give you a bit of assistance there to make it easier. So here, I'm going to start with a website. I am hoping that IB Talks is still available because it was before. Yep, so ibtalks.wordpress.com is free. I am going to select that, but just to talk you through a few options here, you can see once upon a time there was only really .com or .org or .nl, but nowadays there's a lot more dot options coming out. Here, they're all included in premium if you pay for the upgrade, but for your assignment you only have to do the free version. Now, depending on your business name, because remember the original assignment was a real business, now you're doing your own version of a new business. For the assignment, it really doesn't matter what you put here. You would be wise to discuss in your report what the real URL would be. This is called a URL. But for the purpose of this assignment, you can put anything here. You can put your student number, whatever, but keep in mind this will be live on the internet. So as soon as you set this up, this is a live website that you're building right now. So ours will be ibtalks.com. In the future, depending on our branding, I've been talking to Ms. Verboom and Ms. Moore about it, we may purchase a URL. You can do that now via WordPress directly, or if you own a domain down the bottom here, then you may choose to do what's called mapping it, where I tell WordPress where I want to point that to. You can see here it tells you about the premium prices, but for me now, I'm just going to select the free version. So see here, free, best for students, there you go, they have you guys in mind. Personal, premium and business. This is really useful information for you in terms of your assignment for the costing of a website for a business. For us, we're just doing the free for the assignment. But worth taking a look at what the differences are here for your research for your report. But right now we're going to start with free. Now I'm going to use the Gmail account, that we have set up to do these kind of things. The username IB Talks, and hopefully this is hidden, yes. So I'm going to set up a password, I'm going to concentrate on it here. Worth having a look at the terms and services if you're a real business. They write it in quite a nice, friendly way. There's a lot there, but worth having a scan through to see what kind of things they cover. And for a real business, you'd absolutely want to check what the terms and services were. If you've already got a Google account, it says that you can connect to an existing profile, but I'm going to set it up here. You probably like to use your student email address. It's up to you. So I'm going to get started. So my website is almost ready. My subdomain, so I now own ibtalks.wordpress.com. That is my website. And the URL, I'm just writing it down so that I can easily access it later. That link you can give to anybody to be able to visit your site. Now I'm logged in. Oh no, I'm not, because you see login on the right hand side. So here, let's visit my site. It's picked a theme for me, but you can change this. I think when some of you set it up, you had to pick a theme first. And now I'm in what you would call the dashboard here, which tells you the way that you can manage your site. There's a lot of options here. If you've never used WordPress before, this is going to seem a bit overwhelming at first, but if you go and check your email, they should, once you sign up, send you some getting help. So see here, I have gone to my email, click on activate and confirm. So that should give you some help. That's also logging me in as email confirmed, but I believe that you used to get emails that give you help. Yeah, here. So welcome to WordPress. So it will take you to the new user guide. So that is where I suggest that you get started. In fact, that was our recommendation 2 weeks ago. If you're listening to this, I'm not sure when you're listening to this, but in week 7, and it gives you a really clear way of how to get started and tutorials. There's a heap of information online as well. So back to my dashboard. Now, the 3 main building blocks, if you like, of a website are your pages, your posts. I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head. So your pages, your posts, and your themes. So you need to know which theme you're using. It's quite complicated. I think WordPress will describe it better in their get started, because it's a bit complicated for me to just launch you straight into it. So I suggest you go and watch their getting started guides, but I'll show you what I do when I'm first setting up a new site. I haven't done this for a little while, but I've done quite a lot of sites for clients in the past, and I've got quite a few sites of my own. So one of the first things I would do, so I want to see what it looks like at the moment. So I'm going to open it. If I can see here, view site, I'm going to open that in a new tab. So this is the live, what other people would see when they come here. So do you see here how it's got it all completely, all looking nice for me right from scratch? This would be my site title. These are already links, I believe, to social media. They probably won't go anywhere right now, or they're going just to the main Facebook, LinkedIn. And you'll need to fill out that information so that it will link somewhere in reality, but for the assignment, you don't need to do that. Here, you are very lucky, because when I was teaching this module in the past, students had to do all this from scratch. Now WordPress are making it really, really easy for you. They've already set up a whole stack of pages here for you. So you have to, for this assignment, do a minimum of 5 pages. You can do a few more if you like, and they've done this for you. So this is your home page, and scroll down here. This is your about page, because every website should have an about page. This is an additional page that you can call whatever you like. So it might be products or services, or depends on your business. Here's your contact page, which every website should also have. And you can see it's set up as a form already. Blog. I said earlier in an online lecture that the blog is the difference between a website and blog. So before, once upon a time, a blog not that long ago was just a scrolling list of really online diary entries, perhaps with pictures. Now, a blog often sits within a website. WordPress changed the game here, and some of the other blogging platforms as well, because once, when it was just this scrolling online journal, they started adding pages like this to their blogs. Now, once you start adding pages, of course, it makes it look like and turns it into a website. So now this entire thing is a website and my blog sits within the website. Here's another page that they've set up, which you may or may not choose to keep, testimonials, and you could put other pages in your menu if you wish. Now these are pages. This is a page, that's a page, that's a page, that's a page, that's a page, and that's a page. So you've got a 6-page website already created for you here. Within the blog, these will be posts. So here you have one post and you have another post. So there you've got one post, two posts, and if I continue writing blog posts in the dashboard, which I'll show you in a minute, they will continue adding on the top here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages, and then on the blog page you have a scrolling view of what are called posts. Here, actually, they've got another one here. So you've got 1, 2, 3 blog posts. On the sidebar here, you have automatically a search bar. You have a text widget. A widget is really just a little mini type of program that you can put in the side, usually in sidebars to do things. You have plugins, which are usually not available in a .com because then you're getting more complicated, but there's widgets and plugins that you should read up on. These here, that is my page. That is just a copy of my About page. So the website has been programmed, or the theme has been programmed, that it's pulling my About page and it's been told to summarize the About page here. It's also pulling the content page, which you click on here. And if you go back to the home page, it's summarizing it here. And this page here, there, is being summarized in this area here. Now again, I stress, if this is seeming overwhelming, just take it step by step. I'm giving you a really quick overview, talking you through the setup, but WordPress.com tutorials will make this even easier. These are 1, 2 testimonials, which would correspond with here. So it's actually a really nicely designed website, which we created in just a number of clicks. So that's your website. Now what you want to do is customize it. So go up to the left here into My Site. Now when I started building websites a few years ago, none of this was here. It was just this blank looking thing. So you'd start a website and you'd think like, whoa, where is everything? Now, where is everything? The content is in your dashboard here. So they've pre-created content, which you can then create. You can update. So let's click on Site Pages. Now, if I guess correctly, there should be those 6 pages there. Yep, there you go. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus a bonus page, which behaves slightly differently than the other pages, which is why it's at the top, which is a page hosting your blog posts. So your blog posts are actually here. And there are your blog posts. You've got 3, 1, 2, 3. So in your site pages here, if you want to edit any of those pages, those original pages, you click on here. So let's say we'll click on the About. And here it's very similar to using like Word or any editing program. So let's say I want to replace this picture. I don't have any, or I've just deleted it completely. I would have a series of stock photos ready to go if I was designing a site. Today I put on Blackboard a number of stock photo sites. Stock photos meaning you have permission to use the pictures. I just deleted that image. If you do things like that and play around, it's probably set featured image. Click on that. And it's giving you a bit of a tip here, and there's my dog back again. So set featured image. There you go. That's back again. Even for me, I have many hours of building WordPress websites. It's still a lot of experimenting. WordPress changed things a lot, and even though the core functions stay the same, things change. So like you just saw there, I've deleted the photo by mistake, and I realized, oh, that's a featured image. I'm going to put that back there. What I suggest you do is just take it easy, click around and see what you can discover. So here, the about. So let's say this is an example of an about page. We would say this website, I'm thinking right off the top of my head, but when you're writing content, go back to your, think about your personas, what they want, think about your keywords in your SEO, and that's where this is all starting to tie together. So we'll just say this website is for IBMS at the Hague University of Applied Sciences. If you want to link that, so you could highlight that, click on here. URL, what is it? thehagueuniversity.com, link test. I want it to open in a new window. If somebody comes, add link. You can also link internally to your content. So that's where you saw on the Google videos, I remember them talking about breadcrumbs where things link to each other. So there, I am going to update. I am working, I've gotten this a bit back to front now, but let's say I'm going to view the site. I've got the two tabs going on here. So I want to view the site. So the site's come up in the second tab, and in the about, that should now be, this website is for IBMS at the Hague University. You should be able to click on that and come here. So that's probably enough to get you started. Then what you need to do is continue to do this. Click through on the dashboard each of the sections here. It's giving you a lot of prompts, and it's giving you a lot of information you can have a read through. Then the next thing you'll work through is replacing this information here with that information that's relevant to your target market. You also all need to put, I put this in the wording of the assignment, put this is an assignment for IBMS at the Hague, or we'll just put TS at the moment, and then we can fix that later. All of you should have that on your homepage, because these are live websites. So then you're making it really clear this is not a real business. So make that really clear on your front page or your home page, please. Go back to the site pages. So you've got your home, your about. You can update this one. So you might like to say, you go edit and you say here, oops, click too fast. You might like to say here, let's call it services update. And then see here on your pages, that's changed. Site title, this is getting easier and easier. You used to be able to, just got to find where to update the site title. That is probably in, let's go back to the dashboard. It would probably be down here in the settings. This is, yeah, there it is. So let's say site title is IB Talks. We'll say International Business Talks at the Hague University of Applied Sciences. Save settings. So when we go back to the site again, there is quite a bit of clicking around to get where you want to go. I think it opens it in a new tab. What's happened here? So I want to view the site. You can see what it looks like here. So here, IB Talks, International Business Talks at the Hague University of Applied Sciences. So have fun with it. You can edit the blog posts. So blog posts are usually news. Let's say you're talking about a cupcake store. You might go edit here. First blog post, you might say, here you might say, new flavor of cupcake, and update. I have to say, I did this video completely without looking through things beforehand, and I've not created a new account in WordPress for probably since I was teaching last year, because I update my own sites in WordPress.org, and there's been a lot of very positive changes, making things even easier for you. So you'll be very glad to hear that, no doubt, when you're working on your assignment. If you want to change the theme, because you don't want your website to look like everybody else's, and like Ms. Moore's lecture, you want it to match what your target market and your personas are likely to like, you click on Themes. This gives you all of the design of the particular theme that I have, but I want to actually change the theme. So just one moment. Can I click on... Okay, so I clicked on the left-hand side instead of the right, so that's important. So see here, if you click on the word themes, it gives you other options. If you click on customize, it customizes the theme that you've already got chosen. But it's incredibly easy to change the theme that you're on. I think in some of the documentation I've referred to this as a template, but WordPress's word is themes. See here, the current theme is Dara. So you customize it, more information about it. Here, you want to make sure that they're the free ones. I think here, look, on the right-hand side, you can click just the free. There are 118 free themes. My suggestion is to choose a theme early on that suits your business and your target market and stick with it, because once you start changing themes, it will carry your content across, but it can not always look as neat on the next theme. So I need to give it some thought as to which theme I want to stick with. I also need to go and gather all my content and start adding that in. So I'll show you an update of what this site's looking like in another week or two. I'm just scrolling through now, trying to decide which one. I think maybe we might try we want something kind of professional. Our target market are both students and the guest lecturers. So my personas would be those two groups. Let's just, for the fun of it right now, pick. So I'm already on Dara. Let's pick this one. You can open a live demo, so you can see what your current content would look like on this. Oh no, sorry, it's just a demonstration. But if you want to see what your current content does, you activate the theme. So back to themes. So now my website, hang on, I've got too many tabs open here. So I go back to my site, and if I visit the site, it's going to now look quite different. But see how it's carried across my title, it's carried across my tagline, it's carried across the pages that I'd already changed. It will carry across the blog post that I've already written, but it'll be in a completely new format that fits this theme. Go through the rest of the links here, just check out what the options are. So here the sharing, this corresponds with your social media strategy, but you do not have to set up social media channels for this assignment. Just the fact that you're writing the strategy in the report is enough, so you can just leave this for now. Plugins. So as I did suspect, you need a business plan to have plugins, but plugins are all little programs. They're kind of like apps that do things on your website. You do have the free one. The Jetpack is already installed, as is Akismet. But you need to install the business plan if you want any more. Domains, we've just got the free domain. You can have a look through all the settings there and possibly change things. And we've looked at the themes. You can change those testimonials. Testimonials will be in some themes and not in others. You can work on the site pages and the blog posts. So this area is where most of your assignment work is going to go into, the pages and the blog posts, as well as a bit of the design, which is the themes. When you choose a theme, then you can customize it. So each theme will have different things you can customize. So just play around with that, and you can change fonts. And these are the kind of things we want to know about in your report, like why did you choose a particular theme? How does it relate to your personas and your business model and your type of business, as well as your website goals? I hope that's been helpful. Good luck with it all. Just one last reminder again, learning a new skill, if you've never done this before, takes time. I know I've talked through it pretty quickly, because I just wanted to give you a demonstration, and I do have quite a bit of experience with this, but take your time, take as long as you need to, check back to the WordPress tutorials if you need help, and of course come to the workshops. That's exactly what the workshops are for, this block, and we have them every week in the computer rooms, or you can bring your own laptop. And if you get stuck, you can ask not only your lecturer, but ask your fellow students and share your experiences and share the different things that you've learned. So all the best. Let me know how you go, and I'm looking forward to seeing your websites.